Katrina Shanks.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's my pleasure to take a call on the second reading of the Ngati Whatua o Kaipara Claims Settlement Bill today. I'd first like to start off by acknowledging the Minister Finlayson, for the hard work he does in these settlement bills and the speed that he gets them into this House. I'd also like to acknowledge the Chair of the Māori Affairs Select Committee, Tauhanarei. He's always got a focus on getting these bills back into the House as quickly as he possibly can from the Select Committee, and he fast-tracks them and prioritises them within the Select Committee. And thirdly, I'd like to acknowledge those who have worked tirelessly on this bill from Ngati Whatua, and those in the gallery today. Thank you for coming down here, and also those who haven't been able to make it here today and see the second reading and the committee stage in this House. I'm embarrassed to say I'd never been to Kaipara before the settlement process, and when the Select Committee went up there to listen to the submissions, I had no idea it's such a beautiful place. It absolutely is. In fact, I nearly didn't make it, as many other Select Committee members didn't, because the GPS cuts out up there, and it's quite a hard place to find. And so I drove up and down the road about 5 times before I saw this little sign that said, go this way. And so we got there in the end, and there is nothing more richer than hearing the stories when you're there, and hearing the stories about the vision that they had for their future and where that vision is and why they haven't got there. And the stories that we heard were about how they were a very generous iwi and how they had a future about gifting land to the council, actually. One of the stories was about gifting land to the council, and in that gifting of land, in return to the council, they gave that land up for settlement. But the council never settled on that land, actually, and they used it as a reserve. And we also heard how they sold land to the Crown, so we could go and settle on that land and they could grow their area and prosper. But they sold the land at a very low price, and the Crown took advantage of that. So they were a very generous iwi, and they had a vision for the future for the area, and unfortunately that wasn't realised. And in that process they lost most of their land and became virtually landless by the 1940s. So to me, this process is about acknowledging the wrongs of the past to the Crown and offering recompense. And that's really important, because to me settlements are not only about acknowledging the past and apologising for it, but it's also about the future and the future generations. And if we can offer commercial redress to give you some opportunities in the future for economic provisions for the future generations, that's a good thing. And part of this settlement is about $22 million in redress, and part of that is also the transfer of land. So I look forward to debating this further in the House today, and thank you very much for this opportunity to speak on the second reading.
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Shane Jones.
Tēnā tātou katoa I roto I tō tātou whare I tēnei ata, me ngā mahi I